record again.
There we go. There we go.
Right during the surprise.
It was perfectly timed because
I know
I shit myself once I see him come on, William come on, and then the shit just ends. Unfucking, you know what? It's.
I was just gonna make a joke about leaving when Will jumped on because I thought I was the only one who got booted, and then I realized that everyone got booted. So
I don't know what happened. I just
I have to admit, everybody hear me? Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I have to. Formal apologies. I feel really bad because it seemed like it would have been okay, and then.
So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna start over, like none of this ever.
All right, I'm booting Will.
Yeah.
If anyone doesn't know what exactly happened, is we were talking, and then I allowed Will into the room, perfectly timed. It was beautiful.
Yes,
and
it was
Zoom
beautiful.
Ended and crashed.
Unbelievable. Well, that's all right. It's still, like I said, this podcast is about as raw as it gets. I don't, William, this may offend you. I don't edit this show ever. I don't script the show. I don't edit it. We get on the mic and we talk because if you can't talk for an hour, then maybe you shouldn't be doing a podcast. But I don't know where we were because I was so taken back once he popped on and so geeked when he popped on. In fact, that's going to be great on YouTube. You're going to see me freak out and then the video just ends.
Yeah. Well, we were talking about picking your spots, invisible cinematography, and the amazing editing of the film.
Yes, the amazing editing and the cinematography. It's funny that you say that, Patrick. Most of the time Powell. Most of the time I love when I'm seeing you guys kind of show off a little bit, but funny enough, yesterday I appeared on somebody else's show and I did In Bruges. And one of the things that has everyone seen In Bruges here? Mm-hmm. Colin Farrell and
you're an inanimate fucking object.
There we go. So I was so annoyed at how jarring the shot of the kid who gets shot after he kills the priest, how annoying the blocking and the cinematography was on that. Because if you just do the angles, it doesn't make any sense why he has a hole right here, but out of the right side is where Colin and Syrian Hines are coming after, he shoots the priest. So that was one of the few instances where I'm like, this doesn't work at all, but very rarely does that happen. Most of the time I'm like, oh, I love that. And it doesn't take me out of the film at all. Yeah. So William, holy shit. Here you are, Ellis Cinema, first time on the show. I can't believe this. This is great. Thank you, Patrick. What a treat. Okay,
I also got to say, I had no idea we were saving the video from this. I thought it was just going to be the audio. So I'm sorry if I was like staring off into the distance or anything to the people watching this. I genuinely thought it was just going to pull the audio out. So
did you publish the video?
Yes, I will publish the video on YouTube.
Shit.
Yeah. It is staying, dude. And to be fair, though, the recording...
I would have like showered.
I know. That's what I was like.
What's funny is that, as Patrick was communicating with me, it was literally like I'm hopping off of a work Zoom to come onto this Zoom. So I'm the only one who has their ish together, apparently, ready to be as much camera ready as you can be.
I've been like leaned in with my eyes cut off for half of this shit. Like I had no idea. Anyway, everyone watching.
To be fair, I almost never do Zoom. Reason being, I don't know why. I feel like people are a little bit more comfortable when it's just like a joint phone call. But sometimes, like, when I'm doing work for Arrow and Wellgo, sometimes Zoom is the only option. But I'm very hesitant to do that. And yeah, I do put it on YouTube. There's not a whole lot of videos up there. It's just the audio. So.
Well, I will say now Patrick is just his little logo.
You don't need to do that, Patrick.
It's on YouTube.
It looks like you're just on the threshold.
I will say, though, I would understand why you say, you stick to the audio. You have such a lovely podcasting voice. And,
thank you. Thank you.
I did not know what I was walking into other than it was threshold related. And as I'm hearing you, I believe I heard your breakdown about a week ago, and
you did. Cool.
Yeah, and now I kind of want you to do the breakdown to every movie. Like, we got to get him on Bastard now. We got to just do the way in which you politely and enthusiastically go through the plot of the movie without spoilers and your own little commentary to it. I think it was the most entertaining that Threshold has been since it has left my hands.
I love that. Yeah, like it's a weird thing. Like like my brain is kind of like a misfiring spark plug sometimes when I'm doing these commentaries. Like, I always go in, I'm not going to spoil everything or spoil anything, and then just random shit just happens to pop in my head, like that Ghost Waits story that I told. I didn't know that you and Adam, or Powell and Patrick, that you guys know Adam Stovall, and he was just like, oh yeah, I know those guys a little bit, but he knows you guys, because when I went down and I saw his screening of A Ghost Waits, he was just like, oh yeah, Powell and Patrick, I know those guys.
Yeah, the Arrow family is friendly to each other.
Yeah.
You know what? To that point, what was it like when you got the call or you got the email, all three of you, that like, oh shit, we're
so fucking relieving, honestly. Just knowing the movie had a home at a really cool place was, I mean, we would have been fine if we showed this movie to a few friends at on a TV in their backyard at some point, but the fact that it really got as far as it did has been.
Yeah. I was sorry, Patrick, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah. I was just reminiscing about this weekend about when it's crazy to see where it is now, because when I was having a conversation with a friend about, like, when you start working, especially creatively, that it's more beneficial in the long run that you kind of work within niches that you're going to enjoy, as opposed to like always aiming for the pie in the sky, like things where, it's like, oh, I just want to make a big movie. And as opposed to, well, let's just get friends together and make something that we know we're going to have fun doing. So with this film, in the midst of making it, editing and whatever, zero clue what was going to happen with it. And like, it was, because it was so, the way in which it was made, it didn't even cross my mind. I'm like, well, what could we possibly do with this? And for me, it was just, I just wanted to work, like, Patrick and Powell, and they had a project, so I'm going to work on it. And I enjoy working with them. It sounded fun. It sounded cool. So it's still like just surreal to see where it has gone. Even like the fact that, I'm on a DVD commentary for the first time ever. So like that's, yeah, I still pinch myself about it every now and then.
Yeah, Arrow was a total pie in the dark situation. I didn't
pie in the dark.
A pie in the dark. I like that one.
I'm starting it. It's a thing. But we found that pie.
Total pie in the dark.
Mm-hmm. Total pie in the dark situation.
Distro-wise, we did the same thing we did for Bastard, which just blind emailing a shit ton of companies, and that included companies like Apple, because we're like, oh, iPhones, maybe they'll get behind us. They didn't.
Surprise.
Yeah, not quite their type of movie. That's okay. But I at the time I wasn't completely aware that the Arrow streaming service was acquiring projects, and some other people we talked to brought them up, and I was like, oh, why not? I'll give them a shot. And they emailed us back, and they're like, oh yeah, no, we, a couple of us, members of our team saw this movie at Salem Horror Festival or Soho Film Festival.
Oh, Salem! Just so much love for Salem Horror Fest.
Yeah. And one of our first thoughts was like, oh, this is a total Arrow movie. That was them telling us that, and we were like, holy shit.
So I do try to make it a point to like not be negative at all on anything really when I'm on the podcast. I am still trying to come around to stuff like the stuff that has as many bonus features and is as informative as this one or anything Arrow releases. I'm still trying to come around to the fact that I can stream all those bonus features on the Arrow player. Like I think it's just that, I need to rewire this toxic brain of mine. And, I just need to get on board with stream. And I don't shit on streaming. It's nothing like that. It's more like that. This is a collectible to me. You know what I'm saying? Like when you have 2 different commentaries, when you have 4 hours of bonus features, I don't know what it is. And I'm a stupid person, so I don't know how to explain it. I need the disc. I need the hard copy because it feels, and that's different than like a Marvel film. Like for whatever reason, when I buy something that's Criterion, Arrow, whatever, it feels like a collectible to me. Whereas, I just don't know if the bonus features would have played as well if I'm watching it on the Arrow player. I don't know. And I'm not against streaming. Like any way that you can get your film seen these days, I'm all for it. I do think it kind of oversaturates, a lot of genres, but we didn't have this 10, 15 years ago. So you kind of have to take the bad with the good. It's kind of like me in social media. Like I don't mind doing this show. I cannot stand the social media aspect of it. I don't do it really in my personal life. I don't, I'm always doing other shit. So like when it comes, like once we wrap, then I do get kind of like angry. I'm like, oh fuck, I got to make sure that I tag everybody and I got to make sure that the pictures are nice. And I'm just
you
like,
don't have to tag me. It's fine. Like I name search. I'll find it.
Yeah. Patrick, I actually like this is making me think. Yeah, I don't know. I think like as you and I always say, like we're so beyond physical media, like you and me, right? Yeah. No, not at all. You are actually echoing a near daily conversation that Patrick and I have. Like we are right before this, there was just like a DVD collection release that we were sending each other simultaneously.
Like I sent it to him in this morning, and before he looks at his texts, he was on Twitter, found the tweet, and was gonna send it to me.
Yeah, I got like 15 discs total, and like half of them are DVDs. I don't even know. I don't like having stuff.
No, he's like it's Cal's a nomad. That's the thing. It's like he's gotta be able to take go with where the wind carries him, and he can't be burdened with boxes and boxes.
Honestly, I'm with Powell. Like that's another thing that's weird about being a collector of movies. I'm also a minimalist. Like I don't have a whole lot of things. This is the bane of my existence. Every time I fucking move, I'll take it. The hardest portion.
I'll take it. I want to dive into my DVD collection like Scrooge McDuck. Like that's what I want to do. Like I like my goal is that at my end of days, I do want a library of discs and movies and things like that. So I'm on team that.
For the stream, without this Arrow streaming service, this Blu-ray would not exist.
Yeah.
One supports the other these days. I mean, it's been great seeing other companies like Shudder. They started releasing stuff on Blu-ray, DVD. Haya, like we were talking about, Go USA streaming service. They've started releasing Blu-rays. It's great. One serves the other, begets the other. These niches are supporting each other, and that's great. I mean, and that's why I get discs. I want to, I like supporting things, and I spend a lot of my money on entertainment, and I like to feel my support.
That's the big thing too. If I'm going to spend $50 on it, let me hold it. Just let me hold it.
Also, it makes me feel cool.
All that being said, getting a Threshold Blu-ray was one of the highest points of the film career so far. So for someone who's not a huge physical media person, that was crazy. Yeah. That was very exciting.
But we can all agree, and I don't mean to be that cliche fuck, but like we can all agree that the disc looks and sounds better than.
Oh yeah. Oh, I mean, I'm like I always say, like when my Wi-Fi is down, I can't watch any of those movies. So now I can watch Threshold when my Wi-Fi is down. Every time my Wi-Fi crashes, I'll just put in Threshold and see, as you said, the amazing editing in the not to bring it back to me, but
no, definitely bring it back to you though, because it is amazing.
Oh yeah, let's definitely bring it back to you. And I'm sorry if I'm keeping you guys a little long, but I think
all good.
It was my fault for the whole Zoom meeting crashing. But I was actually just blown away, William, when I heard that you were getting scenes, you were getting dailies where you didn't really necessarily know what was going on, but you were piecing it together, and then you would hand it back to them and they would be like, well, you know, most of the time they were like, this totally works. And you were kind of like, well, what's happening here again, which I just thought was wild. And not only that, you know, you weren't on earlier, but to blow smoke, a testament to your work, sir. Seriously.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
To just be able to do that on the fly just was mind blowing to me.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, it is funny. Listening to your and many other responses to it, it is interesting to hear the love that the ending gets. Yeah. And it's definitely, that was a labor of love, like of a little bit emphasis on the labor when in the making of process. And that's what makes it so rewarding on the back end, is that because, you know, I'm proud of the entire movie, and the heart and soul of the movie, you know, for me was, and we've talked about this before, Patrick, Powell, and I, about how the heart and soul of the movie and the ending of that kind of wraps up right before the whole ending, when they're in the empty house, and, you know, Leo fully commits that he's going to do everything he can to help Virginia out. And then the rest of the end is the fun end. Like I always like, you know, your emotionally satisfying end, and then you have your fun end. But yeah, that was one of those, I'm sure Patrick and Powell told the story about that. That was the one scene where it was all this footage, and I had no idea what was happening. I felt bad. I couldn't put it together. So it's just a title card that says the ending happens. And then I sent it back to them, huge apology email. And then they get back to me and like, oh yeah, no, we need to figure that out too. We don't, we shot a bunch of stuff. And the only thought I had when cutting the film was that I just wanted everything to make sense, because it's very easy. And I know that sounds simple, but it's very easy that when you're working on it, you know what they're going for. And you know that this is how the supernatural stuff is happening. And you know that this is what's going on with the characters. But you need to make that clear to everybody else, especially in a movie where you're right, you're just getting scenes, you don't have a script, and you're just basically getting a hard drive of stuff. And so I just wanted everything to track and to make it clear. And then so the best reception that we got based off that was that everybody got it. Everybody followed everything, and especially that ending. Yeah, I think we pulled it off.
Well, so let's talk about something that I was very passionate about and we'll wrap it up with this question. I'm interested to hear how the three of you feel about it. I was very passionate about there not being a sequel. And that's not, look, if you guys did a sequel to the movie, I would watch it. But like for me, I would want to see it more of like a universe thing. Like you guys did a different movie and then you like look back and either it's Leo and Virginia, like amidst what they were going through, like somewhere in the background, that sort of thing. But where do you guys, all three of you, fall on the whole sequel thing? Because for me, I was trending on a 7, 8 up until that point. And then I see the ending, the credits hit when they do, and it's a 10, you know? And I'm such a fucking hypocrite. Like I go back and forth. Like there's some reboots and remakes that I don't mind. And then there's a lot of other stuff that I just don't see a whole point in having. And I'm curious what the three of you feel about continuing that story.
Well, the sequel's filmed on iPads. Definitely. That's really, like, in fact, I think we're going to be doing a Psycho situation where we're just going to remake the entire movie shot by shot, but with iPads. And I'm thinking about editing it on an Apple Watch. Nice. Yeah. And just a tablet. Probably going to edit it on DaVinci, something like that. Actually, I'll let the creative heads go last, and I'll be, because I regularly hit these guys up with sequel ideas, like somewhat jokingly, but with a touch of, but what if? And to the point, I think that the most fun one, the idea that we always have is that, you know, if you were to do it, you gotta go like the aliens route, where it's like this next one is a completely different type of film, like that just kind of like spiritually uses the lore of the previous one. I think it was right after we all saw Malignant, and then we're just like, wait a minute, like what if the next one is just hyper action?
Wait a minute, like
they're using their powers.
Yeah, they're psychically linked, and then you do that. Yeah.
I love to bounce around, and Malignant. I'm curious, just real quick, what you guys thought of Malignant, because the one, okay, good.
Yeah,
good.
no, we're all
huge fans.
Yeah, and I was just texting back and forth with Patrick. I showed the lady Malignant last night, and that was an interesting experience. So that was my second time rewatching it. But to that point, I was like, yeah, it's like if you were to do a next one, do a completely different one. But that's just us as buddies musing over this little thing that we made. I mean, I'm just joking around, and as far as I know, there's no schedule to make. But as I said, if they say they're making anything, I'll be there.
It's kind of what Patrick said earlier. Like for us, their story ended at the house when they decided to keep traveling together, and for it would just be sort of beating a dead horse to just then keep going with that, because that was what it needed to be. And we had fun with the second part of the ending. We had a lot of fun with that, but that was just because we knew people watching would also have fun with it too.
Any sequel lives best within conversations and within our minds. That is where the sequels lie, I think.
Now, we do have a lot of sequel ideas for our first movie. Bastard has 2 sequels and a prequel already thought out, but
perfect. I'm here for it if you do it too. And just food for thought. I would love to have you guys all back on for Bastard, and maybe we wouldn't. And Patrick, you can shower, and we can do it all one go without maybe another surprise you can throw in there. Because I kid you not, I didn't know what was happening when I saw William's name pop up. I was just like, this isn't real. I'm tripping. I haven't taken acid in years. What is happening?
Those long-term effects, man.
Yeah. It's funny with Bastard. It's an interesting one because I believe I mentioned it in the documentary. It was we went backwards. Like our first film was like the well planned out. We had a schedule, had a script, a pre-production, production, post-production layout, and then we went back to now we have nothing, and we're going to build something out of nothing. And it was just interesting to go that route. And now I think we got the best of both worlds. Both experiences I cherish quite a bit, I think.
Kicking and dragging, I'm going to pull Will and Powell even more backwards. We're just going to only go backwards.
Yeah.
Only go cheaper.
Yeah. Next
claymation.
Yeah.
Next one. I'm good. I'll see you guys later.
And it's text-based. It's a text-based game. It's not even
light novel.
Yeah, silent.
No, let's back it up to stop action. That would be great.
It
doesn't take any extra time at all.
No. That's funny.
Well, gentlemen, I thank you so much. What a surprise to have William join Powell, Patrick, as advertised. I typically you watch a film and obviously with all the bonus features, I kind of could gauge how you guys were, but at the same time, as advertised, you guys easy to talk to. You are welcome on the show anytime. I would love to go back and talk Bastards. I'm here for it. I'm just a fan now. And after this conversation, definitely, I'm here for whatever comes next. So hopefully we can get back on the mic sooner than later, boys.
Hell yeah. Thank you.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, I'm going to chuck the deuces, and I'm going to spare you guys from me reading all the bonus features on here. So thank you again. And we will talk soon. All right, gentlemen?
All right. Sounds good.
All right, gentlemen.
Thanks.
So, dude, Patrick Young, Powell Robinson, William Ford-Conway showing up on the podcast. you got to go out and buy this disc. There's so much good stuff, whether it be between the round table with the indie filmmakers, the writers, directors, and a round table with actors and actresses acting in low budget indie films, and specifically horror films for some of them. And they were awesome. Were they not? I mean, hit me with a surprise out of nowhere with William joining. And I tend not to, and not that I think we can all attest that I care about everyone involved in the film. So it was no disrespect not to reaching out to William. It was more like, I know editors are always fucking busy, always. So what a treat to have him on. So make sure you go out. If you need a push, just download the Arrow player. I think that's 7 days for free. You can check this one out and then move forward with the purchase. Like I really want to keep physical media around, and I'm glad that 2/3 of the guests are also big fans of physical media. There's just something about it. I want to hold it. I want to cradle it. I want to, it's my gift. It's my collectible. Right. Yeah. What a goddamn good time those guys were. Hopefully we can get them back on for Bastard, which I would absolutely fucking love. So, Ellis Cinema, Threshold. It was a little rocky. It was a little rocky there for a second, but that's just me. I'm the goddamn worst. Once they watch the videos of it on YouTube, they're going to be like, why the fuck don't you edit? And I don't have an answer for you, boys. I don't have an answer for you. Ellis Cinema, Threshold, Arrow video release. Make sure you guys check this out. You guys do not know what the fuck you're missing. One of the best endings I have seen in a film in a long while. Ellis Cinema, we gone.